Welcome back. I was able to figure it out relatively quickly, and this should look a little bit more sane. And you can see I can fit the whole card in now, and it doesn't take up as much space. And my die rolls when I roll, like that's the edge of my camera, and you can see it all the way through now, whereas it was only visible like right in this region. And I know what happened. It's sort of hard to explain, but basically I, for whatever reason, the camera was set so most of its viewing area was not going to be included in the video that you guys get to see. So in the output, it was being basically uh, think of it like when you're printing to a page, and you have a document that's 2 pages, and you're only printing 1 page. It's that kind of thing. It was doing that. So whatever was happening, it was just being truncated to just the one page. Okay. Uh, Next, I am nervous about some of these missions. This one in particular, I'm nervous about. So let's do this one next. This is a lot of stuff, and it's only for 1 victory point. I don't know if I can take all this out, and I'm also nervous because my Apache pilots are pretty shaken. Let's see, Shadow is available. Flash is also available, but both of them are on the verge. So if I send both of my best pilots this on today, chances are high that they're not going to be. What guy is this? This is 7S. 7S. Oh, this is only half strength. Whew, I was getting nervous. This is only a half strength one. So I could send my crappy like Tex guy up against this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to send Shadow or Flash. How much? Flash hasn't leveled up yet? No, he hasn't. He would if we won in this mission. Shadow, on the other hand, has leveled up. Well, he's not close to leveling up again. All right, we'll send Shadow on this one. Okay, so Shadow's gonna go. This is his situation, +2 and +1, so he's gonna be really good up close. So he's the pilot, and this is our. So we're gonna take half of those. So instead of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, there's going to be 6 units on the field. It needs to be reduced down to 3 in order for us to win. We don't need to worry about AIM 9s or 92s. It's all bottle rockets and AGMs. He only has 8 weight points. And obviously the AGMs and the cannons are going to be the way to go here. His cannon is a 7. It's built in. So he can get a +2. So he'll hit with a 5 with his cannons. I think I have to avoid bottle rockets largely because they're 2 weight points each. Although, because I have a +2 to my die roll, I could try to like go into the location, use my bottle rockets, and bank on the fact that I'm going to recoup them. Like I'm going to roll high enough to get them back. That's a 7 that I need to do that. When I'm in the same space as them, I get a +2 to my die roll. So we're talking a 5 to my die roll. This does have, it's going to have 1 truck. It does have a tank, which is not going to be fun or pretty to hit. Everything else is going to be mostly doable. The Scuds and the SPAs won't even attack back. Excuse me. The infantry will be an issue. The APC will be an issue, but the 1 tank there will be a big issue. And I could possibly ignore the tank and still win this. Ooh, that's such a tough choice. Banking on the bottle rockets renewing themselves is not an easy thing. because it's still 50%. I have to roll a 5. I think my better bet is to go AGM 114s. And if I have to go in and get personal, I'll do it with my cannon. So the AGM 114s, as you know, have to be one space away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could do 5 of those in one bottle rocket. What's the point of a bottle rocket if I can just use my cannon? It's pretty much just as good as a bottle rocket. The bottle rocket hits with a 4. The cannon... Actually, no. The bottle rocket would hit with a 2. I keep it with a 5. Whereas my cannon doesn't hit unless I roll a 5. So I have to roll just as good as I would need to keep a bottle rocket to even hit with my cannon. Sorry, I'm still deliberating on this. So what I have right now is I have 5 of these. If I spend an SO point, I'm getting 10 SO points worth of munitions. And so my thoughts are, well, what can I buy that costs more than 1 SO point? There's nothing. I mean, everything... What I needed to have was more than 1 aircraft on the mission. This is the drawback. When you're spending an SO point, by the way, let's spend that right now, to do a mission, and you only send 1 aircraft on that mission, you're sort of wasting points. But you're also hitting a lot more targets, scoring a lot more victory points. I mean, there is a trade-off, and I don't disagree with the value of it, but it's either a bottle rocket or an AGM 114. Those are my only 2 choices. The bottle rocket takes 2 weight points. So then I would be able to have 6 AGMs, which is still pretty good, don't you think? What's my target? It is 7S. Yeah, there's no weight point penalty on this one. I am going to take 2 stress. But what's the point of a bottle rocket? I'll do it. I'll get a bottle rocket. One of the Gucci ones. And then this. So I at least spent 7 points out of my 10. So that's going to be my aircraft. And let's set this aside. Let's do our mission. I have to select 1 aircraft to start at high altitude. So that blows. So far, all the mountain edges are at the edge, meaning that everything is, like, I don't even need to fly high for most of this. Even this one is connected. Yeah, what's funny is the whole map is connected in some way. So there was no reason to fly high, but I'm doing it. So, okay, we said 1 truck, 1 APC. I need 1 infantry. The infantry is actually going to be the problem child in this. 1 Scud. Oh, actually, the tank's not going to be very fun either. And 1 tank. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing? Self-propelled. Done. All right. So there's 1 of everything, basically. Or not 1 of everything. There's things that aren't in this, like there's SAMs and stuff, but in terms of like what is in this card, there's 1 of everything. And you can see that the Scud is 3 points. The the tank is 2 points, the self-propelled artillery is 2 points, and then everything else is 1 point. In order to win this mission, I can leave 3 points on the field. So the tank, of course, would be nice to take out because he's worth 2, but you could also look at it as since he's the hardest to take out, you can leave him on the field. So this is largely going to depend on where they end up on the map and what we do. But 3 points could be I just take out 1, 2, 3 targets. I could leave the truck, the APC, and the infantry alive. Now the truck for sure should be one of my targets because he's the easiest one to take out. But then that, like I said, it all depends on what I do here. So I could take out the truck and the APC and then leave the tank, for example. So I have a lot of good choices here. And I probably could have sent my my pilot that wasn't as skilled. So that way Apache could have maybe rested because I have 2 pilots that are basically on the verge of being stressed out. But I took Apache anyways. It'd be nice because if he levels up, which he's close to doing, he could get some better cool values and stuff like that. Okay. We did our mission event. We placed our terrain. We placed our enemy. No, we got to place our enemy now. So here we go. APC. The Scud. Self-propelled artillery. They're all over the place. The tank. The infantry. And the truck. So all over the place. There's 2 points over here. So you could theoretically argue that we just come bing, 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 and take everything out. This infantry, of course, being a problem child because it shoots 1 range away. So no matter what I do as I approach them, I got to be concerned about that infantry. So what do I do? Do I take out the truck and the APC early? I can, but then it's going to take me like a turn or 2 just to get over there. Remember, I have to start off at high altitude, so maybe I can take advantage of that. And I might do exactly that. It would have been nice if the truck was over here and the infantry was over there. Then this would have been really easy. But that infantry makes life hard. But I have to hit these guys. It would have been nice to also get these guys. But what I'm going to do... okay. So yeah, we do have to place our aircraft. So Shadow's starting at its high altitude. And we're going to start hovering here. So he is going to be at the hover level, and then we're going to draw a pop-up. And I drew an APC, one that shoots 2 spaces away and does massive damage. This was the worst nightmare of draw. And he's going to be here. So that blows, because I'm at high altitude. Oh, come on. I just can't get a break in this game. All right. Then we roll for cover. I rolled a 3 in same hex with aircraft, so nothing happens. Next, what do? Well, we're shooting an AGM-114 into this space for that Scud. So that's coming out. And that was a 4, not a 6. So it was enough to hit. The 4 was more than enough. So we did hit. But I forgot, I'm getting ahead of myself. They get to shoot at me first. And it's this stupid APC, this guy right here, that's going to get to shoot at me. And I do have 1 evasion. the evasive of 1. So his heavy hit turns into, I didn't let you guys see what he does. He's nasty. But he does 1 heavy hit, but I get to turn that into a light hit. So we at least have some consolation prize here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I drew an AH-64. See, it says AH-64, so we get to ignore that. So that's very good. All right, so we destroyed this guy, and then we're moving towards there, and I'm still high altitude, by the way, folks, because I got to get over this ridge, and I don't want to take the stress for trying to go over a ridge at low altitude. So the whole reason for doing this was to avoid the hit from him. That was the reason why I did the strategy I did, and it's sort of backfiring on me, but so far so good. We're doing what we were supposed to do. It's down to 4 turns now. So we got to draw another pop-up. And this time it's no enemy. And we draw for cover. I rolled a 9. 1 hex with the most active. So both of these, oh crap, they both just went into cover. I can't hit them anymore. My whole plan is just screwed up. Okay, see, this is why when I got the rule wrong earlier in the game, this is what I was telling you about. That makes the challenge so much more difficult. My AGM 114s are useless. So they get to shoot, and again, I'm reducing their big hit down to a light hit. And I got a bullet hole, which for a light hit, that sort of stinks to get a bullet hole, but it is what it is. So I'm coming in. I'm gonna, let's see. No, I have to stay high altitude yet another turn. And now I'm poised to go into here, and I'm going to take 2 hits next turn, and we're down to 3. So yeah, I'm going to take 2 hits now. 1 from the infantry and 1 from this. There's nothing I can do. Let's roll for cover. It's a 7 and 1 random hex. I rolled a 5, so nothing happens. And I'm drawing 2. So I took a structure damage and a pylon, but the structure damage has AH6. Oh, it has AH1 written on it. Dang it. So the structure damage is the first of 2. That's not as big of a deal. The pylon is -2 weight points. And I think I have to discard down because of that. I think it's -2 weight points like in future missions. A lot of these are sometimes they hurt you later. Reduce the maximum weight points of counters the aircraft can carry by 2, including the penalty it's suffering due to the range ban. Yeah, we have to discard counters if needed to meet the new limit. All right, so I'm down to 6 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So I lost an AGM 114 because of that. All right, so we finally can get to low altitude and avoid the one guy, and we go in. All right, I have a tank and I have an infantry. I have an evasive of 1. The tank's harder to hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot at the infantry first with, well, no, I need that for the tank. Ugh. So if I shoot at the infantry first with my cannon, that's great if I can hit the infantry, and then I can avoid taking hits and just leisurely, you know, do whatever I need to do. But because I'm hovering right now, and I'm hovering at low altitude. So I have to take one of them out. Let's go big or go home. Let's take out the tank. Okay, so I'm going to hit that tank with a 4 because I get a +2, but the tank gives me a -2. So I need at least a 4 to hit that tank. And I rolled a 7. And the 7 is enough to keep it. So I get to keep this, and the tank is destroyed. So the beautiful part here is this guy can't see me anymore, so he doesn't get to shoot. And then this guy does get to shoot, but I have an evasion of 1, so I'm finally not taking hits. I'm down to 2 turns. Let's roll for cover. And the roll is a 4 anywhere that there's destroyed units, so nothing happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay hovering. I don't care about this infantry as much because he can't hurt me. So I'm going to use my AGM 114 while I still can to hit this self-propelled artillery, although he has nowhere to hide. I'm still going to do that first. So the self-propelled artillery, I just need a, Jesus, I rolled a 10. So I hit the self-propelled artillery. The only thing that I need to hit now is that infantry, and I win. So we're down to 1 turn. I'm going to go ahead and shoot first, and if I succeed, then I'll exit the map, and I won't even have to do a bingo. So I'm going to use my bottle rocket, and I rolled a 5, which is excellent because I get a +2. I actually get to keep the bottle rocket, not that it matters. And yes, the infantry is destroyed and mission successful. So this little pop-up made life a little harder because of that stupid event, but we still did what we needed to do. It just took a little bit more. With him having the 1 evasion, had we not had to start off at high altitude, I was going to start off low altitude here over the Scud, and then just shoot them with the AGM 114s or whatever. That was the plan, but the best way to make God laugh is to tell him your plan, right? Okay, and so here's our mission home. I have plenty of counters to expend. I have, in fact, 4 of them, so no worries there. We expend all of our counters to avoid those hits. And let's see. Let's just take these off for now. Those tanks are always the thing that scare you a bit. Okay, Shadow here is going to get 2 stress for the mission, but he has 1 cool, so he'll just get 1. So now he's up to 6. He will be okay for another mission, but he's on the cusp. And if I can get enough SO points, I'm going to try to do another mandatory R&R so that way they can lose some more stress. And as far as the paper goes, we just did, oh, my eyes are getting so bad, 7S. And this was Shadow. Shadow's going to get, all the pilots in your squadron recover 1 stress when you destroy this battalion. So he ended up getting no stress. Okay, Shadow is going to get 2 experience points for that. And that leaves him with 2, 4, 5, 6. He needs 8 to level up. And then if we scooch this up, we destroyed the battalion. And we scored another 1 victory point. Yeah, these are both only worth 1. So right now, that's 2 for 28. But we're not done because this is also we're still moving on with day 6. So that goes up there, and 7S falls off the front line. And yeah, our pilot is a job well done, but our Apache is banged up pretty bad, so we're going to have to repair that Apache with some SO points, and that part's not fun. So now let's move to the Marauder. This one is worth 2 victory points, and he's doing it by himself, so that's a little bit of an issue, and his cannon's still damaged. But this is 10A, and yes, if we can get him, we will have knocked everybody out of the... That's causing us to lose SO points. So let's see what we can do here. We got a mission. Oh, we got to arm him, so I'm going to spend an SO point to give him Gucci stuff. We can have 10 points worth. And I think the GBUs weigh 2. They're super nice, but man, they weigh 2. I got to take out 6 infantry, 4 trucks, which is 10, and 4 APCs. I got to do 14 hits. So I think I need some MK20s with this guy. Yes, I do. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MK20s. Because I got a lot of infantry I got to take out. I have at least 6. And I'm hoping that a couple of them will be grouped up together so I can take out more than one at once. I do have some trucks and APCs to take out, so I can grab some AGM 114s if I wanted. I can get some GBUs, which cost the same, but mental note, I got to be at high altitude for those. Or I can get bottle rockets, which cost 2 weight points, which is not as big of a deal when I have 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I used up 6 weight points with my current situation. I can take 4 more SO points worth of stuff. So 2, 4, 6, 8 for bottle rockets. And that's going to give me 8 weight points. 8 plus 6 is 14. So I've just spent 10 SO points for 6 of these and 4 of those. And 6 times 1 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 plus 8 is the 14 weight points. I know it's not the GBUs, but like I said, you have to go high altitude for those. The one nice thing about the GBUs, though, is if you go high altitude, you can just spray them everywhere. Like, you can have your primary hex you're attacking, and then you can spray those other ones to another hex, so you can clear a bunch of hex quickly. So if you don't have your 5 turns, right, you can kill a lot in your 5 turns that you have. You just have to go high altitude and be willing to take whatever hits. Now, in this case, there's not a lot of anti-aircraft, so I could do that. With the bottle rockets, I'm still just shooting. I mean, the bottle rockets are attractive because you get them back. The GBUs are attractive because they can take out those pesky infantry, no problem. You know what? I'm going to change my mind and get some of those GBUs. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. It's the same weight limit. It's just going to be, I'm going to do the really nice GBUs because I have a feeling I'm going to go into a spot where there's going to be infantry everywhere that's shooting at me, and I'm going to want to take out a whole bunch at once. So I do have 1 structure hit, and then my pilot, because he rested last turn and he has a cool value of 2, he's doing great. So he only has 1 stress. He gets a +3 when he's in the location with them. So those MK20s are going to be amazing. And yeah, and he does get to shake off 1 hit. So this is going to be good. I think Buck is one of the best pilots you can get personally. He's in the expansion, so I know somebody asked, like, which expansion do I recommend? Whichever one has Buck. Okay. Now we draw the target bound. You may pay 1 SO point to destroy all helicopters and ignore all pop-up helicopters during the mission. Not very helpful. That's a very situational one. And the other one was awesome. You gain an SO point if you destroyed the battalion, but All right, let's do 10A here. Okay. So this is a little private zone. This is a private zone. This is a private zone over here. Everything in the middle is not. So we will have to go high altitude anyways, just to take out some stuff, depending on how this plays out. But all right, so we need 4 APCs. One, two, three, and then a fourth one from there. And what else do we need? We need, holy crap, 6 infantry and 4 trucks. There's 3 trucks and a 4th truck. There's 1 infantry, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry. So lots of stuff that requires hitting here. And in order to destroy this battalion, we need to get them down to 2 points, which means only 2 things can be left. I have to hit 12 things. This is a tall order. Okay, so let's roll for the 4 trucks. And this is what I want to see. I want to see a whole bunch of the same thing being rolled. So I rolled 3 10s and a 3. So this is like a perfect candidate for an MK20. This is the 4 APCs, so let's just roll a whole bunch of 10s. Of course, I don't roll any 10s now, but there's another 3, 4, 5. There's a 6, 7, 8. And then let's get the infantry down. Oh, there's a 10 here. And a 2, a 4, and a 7. And 2 more. And they're both 4s. So 3 infantry all in one spot there. My pilot is slow, so getting in to hit these infantry is going to be interesting, but I do have the ability to fly 2 spaces because I am the Warthog. Oh, what do I do? The MK20s definitely require a flyover. And I can only leave 2 points alive. But you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off at low. And I'm going to face this direction because this has an MK20 in its future to hit those 4 targets there. And then we got some APCs we can pluck off here. This infantry can hit 1 space away. This infantry can't hit me, and neither can these 3 until I go up to high altitude. So I can do quite a bit of plucking. And at some point I can go high altitude, and I can take out all 3 of these infantry and this in one sweep while I'm attacking this. I mean, it's actually, this could turn out to be quite beautiful how this is going to play. So we move this up to 5. There's no pop-up counters. Let's roll for cover roll. This is what's going to hurt us. I rolled a 4. So anywhere that they have destroyed units in their hex, they don't. So let's I want to get to a point where I'm popping up high. Actually, let's think about this. I may want to go this way first, so that way I can hit all of these guys first. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I'm going to start off facing that way. So here's what I'm going to do. It's their turn. Nobody can hit me, so no worries there. I'm going to pop up to high altitude. Okay. And then I'm going to go in to here for a 1 facing this direction, right? And from here, I'm going to shoot 1, 2, 3, 4 GBUs to hit all 4 of those. And then I'm going to drop an MK20 on this guy here. So that's my plan. And just so you understand, I get a +3 on the MK20 and a +1 on the GBUs. Now the GBUs hit with a 0. And I'm not rolling at anything that reduces my die roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, why was that important to do first? Because these guys could all take cover. And if they did, then I would have to fly into their hex. So now I went high altitude. I shot everything I had, and I can go back to low altitude next turn. Yes, I'm going to have to draw a pop-up, but I at least took out the 4 targets. And that's 4 points right there. That was the whole reason why I got these, was to do exactly that. And that eliminated me from having to fly over a ridge. From here on out, I can do whatever damage I want elsewhere. Okay, so I am at high altitude, which, semi of an issue. There's one MK20. So let's roll. And I rolled a 7, which is perfect. I hit it without even needing a bonus to my die roll. So this APC is gone. So we just took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets on turn 1. That was why the GBUs are important. So then let's go to 4 turns left. The only drawback is I have to draw a pop-up now, which could be nasty. Let's find out. And the risk was worth the squeeze. So that happens. And then we roll for cover. And I rolled a 10, which means they would actually come out of cover if they were in cover. Well, one hex would. Okay, this infantry gets to shoot at me, but I have 1 evasive, so that infantry doesn't hurt me. And I can go 1 or 2 spaces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip back to low, and I'm actually going to go 2 spaces. And then, of course, after I go into the second space, I can completely turn around if I wanted to, or I think that's actually illegal. So I'm going to just turn this way, which is just as good. No worries. And I'm dropping MK20s on these. And I'm looking at the situation. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes I need to hit. So I can afford to drop 2 MK20s on this one. Do I need to, though? You know what? I don't. And these are trucks. So I'm going to drop 1 MK20 on this one, because there's 3 trucks in this one. So I'm rolling for the 3 trucks right now. And so you can see a 6, you can see a 2, and then there's a 1. I get to add +3, and the trucks add +2. So this 1 + 3 is 4, and the trucks +2. I didn't even have to roll, actually. The trucks just automatically get killed. So my apologies there. I just didn't do the math. So now let's roll for the infantry. I can't be rolling 1s or 2s against the infantry. And I rolled a 9, which was perfect. So I knocked all 4 of those out, and turns over. Now we're down to 3. Let's roll for cover. A 10 again, so nothing happens there. Let me get that out of your way. So now I'm going to go 1, 2. And yes, this infantry will get to shoot at me next turn, but again, I ignore it. So I'm going after an APC. So again, an MK20. And there's a 9. So I just took out an APC. And I need to get him down to 2 points. So I'm getting a little bit down to the wire. But we are now down to 2 turns. I'm going to draw for a roll. Any 1 unit in each hex is going to go into cover. So this infantry goes in cover. This one can't. and then that APC will. But it doesn't matter. We're going in. So I'm going to go in for 1. And I have to decide which way my movement's going to be. And this is what sucks. I'm gambling that if I'm leaving the map. So I need to hit both of these because look, there's 2 points left. And if I hit both of these, then I win. I destroy the battalion. So I'm going to gamble on that. And I actually have 3 MK20s available. So I'm going to make sure I win. So I don't have to roll at all for the truck, if you remember. It's just the APCs. And that 1 would have missed. But this 4 and that 6 would have hit. So I only needed 2. APC's done. Mission's over. We smoked this. I'm probably underestimating how good each plane is at taking out large amounts of units. But yes, I'm spending a lot of SO points to be able to do what I'm doing. And those trucks. And we're going after some pretty easy targets with these trucks. So, yep. But it's still a very good job. Well done. So that was 10A. We completely destroyed the battalion. Well, not completely, but you know what I mean. I have 2 cool, so I don't even take a stress for doing this mission. And all right, where's the card for 10A? We got 2 victory points for this. And ooh, where were you at? You were probably at there. We're on day 6. I bet they was there for 3. I bumped the SO point. Okay, so this battalion gets destroyed. We got rid of everything that was costing us SO points. I already gave my pilot his stress, so we still have a lot of damaged planes, mind you, but we're hanging in there. So we do need SO points to repair those dang planes. Okay, now you can take victory points to replace a plane, and then if your plane is not destroyed or something like that, you can actually get parts and use those parts to repair other planes that are in place. I mean, I never really played with that rule, but it is a viable thing to do. So 10A, who can afford to sacrifice the 2 victory points, I guess, is the bigger issue. But I can see why, if you're really stuck, it might be worth doing. Buck, I don't need to worry about experience points because he actually is already aced out. And we get an X. We destroyed the... And for this one, we get 2 victory points. So a little bit better. And that's going to get us up to 30, which means we're at 15 points. We finally hit the... well, we're still at dismal. We're still at dismal rating. But if we win this 1 victory point, just 1 more, we will move out of dismal into poor. And that 1 more is right here. So it's going to be this recon and force, which is a lot of power for 1 victory point. And I'm coming at this with 2 vehicles. So let's scoot that over. We got our Apache, which has only 1 structure damage, and an F-16. So I sent 2 guys to get 1 victory point, but we will get an extra experience point and a scout counter, which will help us later. Not sure exactly how, but we'll figure it out. The problem is our F-16 is going to have a newbie fighter. Excuse me. So he's going to be worthless, or he's going to have a -1. And look at his stress there. He gets shaken after 3 stress. So he's going to have, we're going to put some real baby gloves on him. Kids gloves, baby gloves. Yeah, kids gloves. And then we can send, but we can send Flash which is also not our best pilot, but he's on the verge of leveling up. And this is Flash here. So he's also on the edge of the stress meter as well. He has no evasion, so both of these guys, but he is fast, which means that we can get a pot shot in. I just realized Shadow, did he not level up? Nope, he didn't. But he is a veteran. Okay, that helps. This guy's not a veteran yet, Flash. All right, did I remember to, no, I didn't remember to do a return home mission check. Right here, expend a total of 5 weight point weapon counters to retreat any one mobile battalion, 1 range band closer to the enemy. If I spent all the MK20s, I had a 2 weight point bottle rocket still. No, I didn't. No, I didn't have anything. I definitely didn't have 5 weight points worth of weapon counters. So, I mean, this is really nice, but yeah, you don't know when you're going to get that. And I definitely didn't have the weight points for it. So, okay, now we're going to do we have to arm our aircraft first. So let's do that. So we are going to spend an SO point. I'm down to 2. All right, so there are helicopters in this one. So I for sure need some AIM-9s, 2 of them for the F-16. I'm not going to get as lucky as last time to have both helicopters in the same location. I am tempted to give one to the Apache, but I'm going to give them to the F-16. We're just going to have to deal with them one at a time and hope that the other one's not going to be able to shoot at us. The F-16, what do? We have 10 SO points worth of stuff between the 2 of them. I need to look at the 2 helicopters, 2 tanks, which are going to be hard, and 2 trucks, 4 APCs. The trucks and the APCs are not going to be as big of a deal. The tanks are, though. I can get these AGM-65 counters. They're really good against tanks because they hit with a 1, but they cannot be hit with a range 0. But I can give those, I can put him on tank duty and helicopter duty, right? That's 2, 4, 5, 6 weight points. And then I'm just going to take 2 GBUs and make it 10, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the special option points for him. Now the Apache pilot actually has a +1, 1 space away. Doesn't do as well when he's close up. So the Apache pilot, we should probably give him 1 AGM 114s. He has a weight limit of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get 4. I can get 4 SO points worth of stuff for him. So there's 2. And then if I got some Gucci bottle rockets, that's 4. So it's 2, 4, 5, 6. And then he has 2 points left. So actually what I'm thinking of doing is just getting him 4 bottle rockets. Get rid of the AGM 114s. Because then I'm spending all my SO points, and then he's at his weight limit. And maybe he can get some of those bottle rockets back, and then he'll just rely on his cannons if he has to, which is not going to be great, but he can at least do something. To win at this, I need to reduce them down to 2 value, which is going to be super hard. All right, I don't know how successful this is going to be, but let's try it. See how this goes. Those GPUs can be used against tanks if I need to. The AGM-65s, we can use those against APCs or trucks just as well. So the F-16 does have some good things going for him. He just has a bad pilot. Or a very inexperienced pilot, I guess is the better way to word it. So the trick is, how many times are they going to be, like this is segmented off? And there we go. Okay, so we have ourselves a nice little zone here. This is its own segment, and this is its own segment, these two. So these two and these two are their own segment. This is all one area. So chances are the helicopter is going to try to work over here, and then the F-16 might go high altitude for these over here. We're going to find out. Okay, so first things first, we need 2 tanks. We need 4 APCs. Two helicopters and 2 trucks. Got the trucks right here. The helicopters right there. Okay, so let's roll for the helicopters. 10 and 2. They're semi-far away from each other. 2 trucks. 2 and 4. 2 tanks. 10 and 6. And 4 APC. 10, 1, 9, and 7. All right, with the way these came out, there's 2 points right here that are in this zone that can't be reached. Everything else is here that we can hit. That makes life a little interesting. The F-16 cannot hit both of the helicopters in one turn. The helicopters only have a range of 1, but they get to move. So they basically have a range of 2 if you think about it. But they will only move if you're in their line of sight. So the problem is if you're here, this one's not in your line of sight, but this one is. And my F-16 is slow because I don't have my best pilot. So he won't take out a helicopter first. My Apache is fast, but he doesn't have a way to take out the helicopter unless he uses his cannon. So the only option I have then is to start back here and then pop up into high altitude to do my attacks. Because the helicopter will have gone first before my turn. I don't like that option at all. But it might be all I can do. The Apache So I got to read up on that helicopter, but I'm pretty sure he moves and attacks. Because what happens is he moves at the start of the enemy attack phase. Like you resolve his movement before you do any of the enemy attack phase stuff. And then you resolve attack phase based on the helicopter will move one step closer to the closest aircraft if they have line of sight. They don't move if there's no line of sight. And then all surviving enemy units attack afterwards. So yes, they will move one space and then... So if I put my Apache here, this guy will move one space during his turn and then attack the Apache. If I put my Apache down here, or let's say here, this guy can't see him, but then this guy can move one space and attack the Apache. So no matter how I do it, the Apache is getting attacked. I can put my Apache here, which would prevent me from getting attacked by the helicopter. And I could do the same thing with my F-16, which is slow, meaning I don't get to attack the helicopter until later. Interesting. So flash, I'm going to put it low altitude hovering. And then Ripper, I'm going to put him at low altitude facing this direction. And of course, I'm going to have to switch him to high altitude as soon as his turn starts. But for this first turn, we won't have to draw a pop-up counter. But after that, we will. And I do have issues with this is going to be a little ugly. But I think I know what to do. Just got to do it now. All right. There's no pop-ups yet. Let's roll for their cover. I rolled a 6. All infantry is going into cover. There's no infantry. Good, good, good. Okay, the Apache, our flash here, gets to go first. So we're going to shoot at this APC, and then, assuming that we hit him, I'm going to move towards that ridge for next turn. And then he'll go high velocity, or high altitude, not velocity, next turn. So he gets a +0 to his roll, and then he has a bottle rocket. So let's do the bottle rocket. And you can see I rolled a 5. That's enough to hit it. And since he gets a +0, he loses the bottle rocket. And so, but job done. I can leave one of these that are worth 1 point alive and still win this mission. Okay, so he's going to have to go high altitude to avoid the ridge, which he will do. So we're going to deal with pop-ups in this game. And then the enemy gets to go. And none of them shoot at us because we're hiding behind the ridge right now. So those helicopters can't do anything. So Ripper, on his turn, is going to go high altitude. And Ripper gets a -1 if he's in the same space. So we're going to shoot an AIM-9 at this helicopter from right where he's at. Now remember, my GBU-16s let me shoot to one of their hex independently. So I could shoot at this truck, for example, but I'm not going to, not with the GBU. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go after this tank right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move, into here and then shoot a GBU. I have 2 of them, but I can only shoot at one of their hex. So I'm going to shoot to that tank right there for 2. So this would be 1 movement, right? And then 2 movement. And then I'm going to finish up here for 3. The reason I'm sort of doing a circle is this helicopter is going to see me, but I'm not going to be close enough for him to hit me. So he'll move 1 space forward, but that's all the best he can do. Now this flash here is an issue. I didn't think about that because the helicopter will be able to get him. So I may have to send flash this way, which is unfortunate, and we may have to just go after that truck. That's fine. We'll do it that way because I'm trying to avoid this helicopter hitting me. We got to deal with the helicopters first. Okay, so let's start with the first helicopter. I get a +2 to my rolls. I need a 3 to hit. That helicopter is hit no matter what with the AIM-9 when you're using an F-16. That's what makes them beautiful. So AIM-9, I don't even need to roll. This helicopter's toast. And then this is a 0, but the tank has a -2. So as long as I don't roll a 1, I'm good. And I rolled a 4 like that. And so the tank is gone. So we just took out 2 really nice Gucci targets. And Just bear in mind that I need to get it down to 2 remaining in order to win. So that's done. And like I said, zing, 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 we're basically back where we started, and we're at high altitude. Okay, we got 4 turns left. I have to draw a pop-up counter for my F-16. And the pop-up counter is no enemy, which is good. And this guy goes first. He's going high altitude. And he gets a +1 standoff, so he's going to shoot a bottle rocket into the space with the truck. So I rolled a 3. He gets a +1, which makes it 4. So that's a hit. And then the truck adds +2 to make it 6. It's still not enough to keep the bottle rocket, but we at least get the truck. And then he's going to come in and turn this way. Well, actually, we might as well just go this way. Which is the best? It doesn't matter. All right, so now it's the enemy's turn. This helicopter sees us in 2 spots here. We are in its line of sight, but 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, right? So the helicopter is going to roll even towards Flash, odd towards Ripper. And I did roll an odd. So he's going to move towards Ripper 1 space. And then he can't shoot anybody. Nobody's within range. So we keep going. Did I roll for cover? I did not. Let's roll for cover. 1. Nothing happens for cover, so good to go there. Okay. His turn, like I said, played out like normal. This played out like normal. So now we're moving in with Ripper, who's at high altitude again. So he's coming in 1. Okay. And he's shooting his other AIM-9 at this helicopter from 1 space away. And then he's going to come here for 2. And he's going to shoot his GBU independently at this tank down here. And then I'm going to bring him around for 3 just to get him away from everything. And like we said, this is an automatic hit. And this, as long as I don't roll poorly, and I didn't, is also a hit. So GBUs are done. And we are at 1, 2, 3, 4 points remaining in the game. And I need to get it down to 2 to win. So they're down to 3 turns left. We're now drawing 2 pop-up counters, unfortunately. So no enemy and no enemy. So I got lucky there. There's some really nasty ones. Like I'm looking in the cup here. Look at this one. That's 3 heavy hits with a range of 2. I mean, that's like a ruin your day kind of thing. Okay, so we roll for cover. 6. All infantry go into cover. There's no infantry. This guy can't do anything. He just moves 1 space, and that's the best he can do. The F-16, we can go back into low mode. All right, and I can only do 1 thing at a time, but I will go 1 and then 2, like this. You know what? I should have been planning a little bit better. This helicopter would have gone this way because I want to go after that truck. Truck for the helicopter is an easy hit. So we're going to shoot an AGM-65, which hits on a 1. So it's an automatic hit on that APC. So the APC is down. And I got to think about this. What's the helicopter doing? If the helicopter stayed here, because he's got 2 bottle rockets, he can shoot. Obviously, the truck would be nice, but if the helicopter goes up here, he doesn't have enough turns to turn back down to hit those. And I have only one AGM-65 left, so as much as I would love to use it against one of these APCs, I think the plan is to take out the truck with the AGM-65, and then the helicopter will try his best against those two APCs. And it also means I can shoot this APC from one space away, so this isn't a wasted turn, so let's do that. And I did roll a 2. The helicopter only gets a +1, so I actually missed. So unless I can hit with my cannon, we're not going to win. So this is going to go down to 2. Well, I mean, we're going to win, but not completely win. So we draw a pop-up, which also might ruin our day. And oh, yes, it is. Look at this nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. There, I can probably put this one over here. Look at that. Whew. And the good thing is that's a 3, so he's going to go right there. We're in his range. I mean, he can hit the entire board. So my helicopter is at high altitude, and he goes first. Well, first we roll for cover. It's a 7, 1 random hex. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, nothing happens. Okay, we got to get low altitude here, or my helicopter is going to get destroyed by this SAM. And Flash, unfortunately, is going to have to do a ridge evasion roll. So I'm going to go low altitude and then do a ridge evasion check. And I'm basically going to just try to hit this and leave. So, because the AGM-65 is going to take this out, and we're going to win. This is just Gucci. So I just don't want to get hit by the SAM. So that's a 5. And I don't know, do I add my pilot skill to that? I don't think I do. That's going to be 2 stress, which isn't going to help. But Apache's up to 6 stress, so now he's shaken. And yeah, his final attack, I rolled a 10, which means I get to even keep it. But I do have to subtract 2 from my roll. It becomes an 8. We hit the APC. It's a win no matter what. And then my F-16 will exit out this way, and the AGM-165 will hit the truck without even needing to roll. So we do win. We leave 1 unit on the board, so we're not going to get the extra experience points. I was going for style points, I guess. So we accomplished our objectives. We scored 5 victory points this turn. These 2 tanks go away. These 2 helicopters. And then the SAM goes back in the pop-up cup. Okay, that pop-up cup is just some nasty business. Sorry, let's roll our draw for our return home. Okay, inflict 1 hit on each aircraft that does not expend a weapon counter. The Apache actually has a weapon counter. He had a bottle rocket left. The F-16 does not. So he will take a hit. And I got an F-16 marker, so I get to ignore it, although the damage would have been ignorable anyways, because we're heading home. All right, Flash and Ripper. This is their situation. The particular mission we were on is 4C, which was on the front line. That is only going to cause them to get 1 stress each. So Flash gets 1, and as you can see, he's shaken. Ripper only gets 1 from the mission. 4C is destroyed, which is awesome. That's another victory point. Gets us up to the 5. And let's put in 4C. So this particular one, we get an extra experience point, and we get a scout counter, which we haven't used all game. But, okay, Flash. 1 for the mission, 1 for destroying it, and then 1 for the card. So he gets 3 experience for that. And then, who was the other one? Ripper. Ripper should have none, and now he gets 3. So let's look. Ripper doesn't level up until he gets 6. Jesus, that's like a really awful amount of experience that you need just to get out of newbie status. And Flash has 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. He levels up at 9, so he's at skilled right now. So he's going to go to veteran. So here's his veteran card. So he gets a bit better on his standoff skills. He's fast. No evasion and no cool, though, so that's not cool. I know. You would think it gets old, but it doesn't. All right. The aircraft didn't take any extra damage this mission. And then let's finish this up. We destroyed the battalion. We get 1 whopping point for that. So we're going to get 3/31. Okay. And I can write it up in here. 31 is where we're at right now. So minus 15, that's 16 points. And so we just, on day 6, got out of dismal and moved into poor. So like I said, if we get 5 more, right, that puts us to 21, which will give us adequate on day 7, and then 5 more on day 8 gets us to good, because we'll just hit 26. So that's what we're shooting for. And I'm going to get all these off. Shuffle, shuffle a little. And now we're rolling for some battalions here. Well, hold on. We got end of day. No fly stress recovery. So who didn't fly? This is where I always screw up. Tex didn't fly. Gumby didn't fly. The F-16 guy didn't fly. Where's he at? Mohawk didn't fly. So he's going to lose 3. And he's down to 6. So his shaken goes away. All right. That was important, because getting Mohawk back is nice. He's a pretty good F-16 pilot. Okay, excuse me. Let's roll. Autobots, let's roll. All right, 9A, I rolled a 4. And remember, he gets a -2, which puts him to 2, but then he gets -3 more, which puts him at 0 or less. He actually goes backwards. Okay, so we still do the abacus method. Then 3A, he's advancing. 7A is a 5. -2 is 3. He stays. 3C is a 4. I think it's a +2, right? -2 assault battalion, -1 support battalion. I would swear somewhere I read that command. Oh yeah, add 2 to mobile support and mobile command. So he gets a 6, but for a command at 6, he stays. He doesn't move forward. 2A moves up. 12A moves up. Even at a 5, they move up. 13A rolled a 1, so he actually goes backwards. 1A rolled a 6. He moves. He stays. I think 8C is fixed. So that would be 14A who stays. I actually wanted some of the rear ones to move up. So that's our situation. Moving into day 7, we get our special option points. We have 2. We get 4 more. We're up to 6. We don't lose any from the map, finally. Repair aircraft. So we do need to repair a few things. Like this Apache, I want to spend 2 points to repair that. And then I would really like to repair the cannon on the A10. Let me study this a little bit, because I'm moving us down to 4, and I need those 4 points to do our mission. Yeah, I think we're going to have to leave the cannon be, and then I'm keeping the structure damage on both of my Apaches. Nothing I can do. I got to save my SO points. So I'm at 4. I need it. Even if I do transport tomorrow to get 2 more points, I need that. So because what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on going after the juicy targets, because I can afford to do that with only 1 battalion threatening to go into our rear lines. And also I want to do priority R&R. Crap. That would cost me 2 more SO points. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. The problem is, in doing so, I'm for sure going to have to do transport tomorrow. And that's assuming that this is not an expansion one, which I don't think it is because it's bright yellow. We hit a lot of the expansion ones early, didn't we? I mean, because look at how many of these there are. I mean, there's an expansion one, and then there's a whole bunch of yellow, and then there's an expansion one, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expansion ones, a yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 expansion. I mean, Jesus, it's almost like I didn't even shuffle. But yeah, I got to do the priority R&R. I need my best pilots. So Buck is fully healed. My F-16 pilot's down to 3 stress. Shadow, the Apache pilot, is going to lose 3. He's down to 2 stress. The Iroquois guy is down to nothing. Ripper is down to nothing. And then Flash, our Apache guy, was the one who needed it the most. He only loses 2. He does lose his shaken status, but he's in bad shape. So, okay. Maybe I didn't need to do it, but it is going to be nice. All right. We are now on day 7. Just 2 days left. I'm at 1 hour and 18, so I'm going to go ahead and head the video. And thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome and stay healthy and safe.